So I'm going to do a quick reaction to this YouTuber that I'm subscribed to. He goes by the name of Liberal Hivemind. If you're not subscribed to his channel and you like good conservative commentators, I would highly recommend you go over there. He has some really good content. And I'm going to show this little clip that he did regarding the whole ballot harvesting and mail-in ballots that we've been seeing take place in great numbers over the past couple of election cycles. And the Republican Party as a whole, we have not embraced mail-in voting and ballot harvesting the way the Democrats have. And I personally don't like ballot harvesting. I don't like this mass mail-in vote method that the Democrats have solely embraced. And some Republicans do mail-in voting. I still stand firm on my position. I believe that mail-in voting should mostly be for people who are unable to vote in person. We already have early voting. It's kind of like, what's the point of having early voting if we're also going to have all this ballot harvesting? To me, it just kind of cheapens the process. You literally got people going out just getting people to vote, you know, for the Democrat Party that don't have a clue about politics. It's definitely the Democrats gaming the system. It's not the American way, in my opinion. But this short 2-minute clip that I've downloaded from the Liberal Hivemind's channel, he explains it perfectly. You got to play the game to win. And all states are not, you know, created equal when it comes to election laws and stuff like that. So I'm mainly, you know, concerned about the states of Arizona, Nevada, Pennsylvania especially. Those are states that we did not do very well in collectively. The two biggest losses, in my opinion, for the Senate were Pennsylvania and Arizona. I think that we should have, and also Nevada. I think Nevada should have been one. I think Fetterman being in the Senate is an absolute joke. And Arizona, I think Blake Masters would have had a better chance had the GOP establishment gave him some more money, and if the GOP would have utilized the mail-in vote system. So I don't support the system, but like this guy says on his channel, you have to play the game to win. In the states where mail-in voting and ballot harvesting is the norm, we got to get power. Like I said, power is not given, it is taken. If we ever want to take control of our elections again, we have to start beating the Democrats at their own games in these states where they do this mass mail-in voting and the ballot harvesting. We just got to bite the bullet and do it. That's the only way we're going to be able to win. So I'm going to let you go ahead and hear what Liberal Hivemind has to say, and I'll come back with a very quick wrap-up.
Join them. I'm just now starting to realize how naive, how stupid Republicans have been over the last 2 election cycles. Just whining and complaining. It's not fair. The system is not fair. Well, at the end of the day, the system is the system. You can't change that. You'll never change that. The Supreme Court refuses to take a lot of these cases. There's no federal law that dictates how elections should be ran on a state-by-state basis. And at the end of the day, the laws of the state are the laws of the state. You might not like them, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Why is everyone taking the black pill? We have been looking at this thing all wrong. If the Democrats are going to engage in these tactics, why are Republicans just complaining about it and whining and continuing to lose? If Democrats are going to do it, then Republicans should do it. And of course, we're talking about ballot harvesting. This is the power behind the Democrat electoral machine. And guess what? It's not illegal. I might be wrong, I'll have to double check this one, but I think in most states, ballot harvesting is actually a legal practice. The Democrats have perfected it. And so how can you expect to compete if you're not even playing the game? If you are surrendering the biggest tactical advantage to your opponent, how can you go in expecting to win and then just whine about it and complain and continue to doom afterwards? The Democrats are doing what they do best. They're playing the system. They're doing everything that they need to do to win. And it's about damn time that Republicans start doing the same. Democrats play the game of hyperbole and the game of promising big to get votes. Salesmanship. Republicans don't. And Democrats play the mail-in ballot game, and Republicans don't. Well, this has to change, and it seems as though people are finally waking up. And let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I've been thinking about it over the last couple of days, and it seems as though other people are thinking the same thing. We've got this from Election Wizard on Twitter. He writes, drop boxes at gun shows, drop boxes at churches, drop boxes at construction sites, drop boxes at MAGA rallies. So let it be done. There's one word in my brain right now. I'm visualizing it in big, bold letters. Yes. And you know, in a certain way, this is all...
So like Mr. Liberal Hivemind said, ballot harvesting at churches. We know conservatives love going to church. We got to just start going all out. The Democrats would do anything to win and anything to maintain power. Some Republicans in Southern California's Orange County have been putting ballot harvesting boxes all over the place, and it's been working. Conservatives across the country, like rock and roll and country music concerts, gun shows, you know, places like Bass Pro Shops, you know, conservatives like going to gun ranges, conservatives like going to NASCAR, you know, races and events and stuff like that. And also bar and grills, restaurants. It shouldn't even have to come down to this, in my opinion. It's just not what I ever anticipated would happen to our election system, but it is what it is in certain states. And it's a shame that some of these election laws have been changed in states that have been controlled by Republicans, like Arizona. Here in Georgia, they had to tighten the laws up after we had what happened here in 2020 with all the crazy stuff that happened, which we're not going to get into. So like I said, we just got to beat the Democrats at their own game in certain states, especially the Midwest. The Midwest, specifically Michigan and Wisconsin, very disappointed in how those states turned out. Michigan re-elected Gretchen Whitmer. Wisconsin re-elected Tony Evers, a terrible Democrat governor. So they both got Democrat governors. Michigan didn't have the congressional race results that we wanted. John Gibbs lost. John James won, though, which is good. And it's amazing because the GOP's voter base is majority white people, and the Midwest is a majority white part of the country, and it's not the most rapidly growing, demographically changing part of the country. That would be the South and the West. And the only two states in the Midwest that are of any significant size population-wise, Ohio and Indiana, they've been reliably red for the past few election cycles. Michigan and Wisconsin have been a problem. Minnesota, we know Minnesota is just a different animal. And then, of course, your rural states like Iowa and Missouri, they're a little bit different, but it's really no excuse. The Midwest, with the exception of Illinois and Minnesota, should be bright red. It's a majority white working class part of the country in those states, outside of the bigger cities of Milwaukee and, you know, Cleveland, Minneapolis, Indianapolis, Chicago, etc. We know what the big cities are in the Midwest, but I know the Midwest has been kind of a bluish, purplish part of the country, primarily because of the labor unions over the years, but the labor unions have had, you know, some serious scrutiny over the past, you know, decade or so. And I think Governor Scott Walker out of Wisconsin was one of the first major political figures to do so. He went straight at the labor unions, and he won, I think, a couple of election cycles, but he lost this last one. But nonetheless, we got some serious soul searching to do, and hopefully we can do an about face in the states where we need to and start playing the game the way the Democrats do until we can take back power in these states and change the election laws back to the way they're supposed to be. Thank you all for watching. Hopefully you can like it and subscribe for me. I would love to get, you know, some subscribers and, you know, produce more content. Thank you so much.